What is your take for the financials of this pharma manufacturing company whose top line looks like this? The business is also earning a healthy profit. As a banker, are you tempted to finance them? Hold on a second. What if I say that sales of the company includes 40% of traded goods? Those traded goods did not appear in the opening stock or closing stock for this year. Profit earned from them was a substantial one. So, if you remove that from the main income statement, the company actually ends up in a loss. Now you might be little skeptical, right? Revenue from operation is the most important part for analysis of profit and loss statements. And as per Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013, it needs to be disclosed on the face of the profit and loss statement. But the story doesn't end there. So if you get a false satisfaction just by looking at this and thinking that whatever the company is earning from other sources are automatically classified under other income, then it's time to rethink. So can you tell what is the basic difference between these two entries, that is revenue from operations and other income? You know, revenue from operation always has something to do with the business activities, either directly or indirectly. On the other hand, the company might be generating some income from sources which are far away from business activities. For example, interest income, profit on disposal of fixed asset, insurance claims, and the list goes on. Now, identifying other income is much easier because our act itself puts a binding on the company to show them separately. But we cannot tell the same thing regarding constituents of revenue from operation. And unlocking this depends much on the notes of the balance sheet. That is, sale of products, sale of services, and other operating revenues. Yes, you can't really figure out what's happening inside only from the main profit and loss statement. Now let's talk about another example. Here, sales have gone up on YOY basis. Other income is substantially low as compared to overall income. Profit is also increasing. So how do you feel about this company? Never judge a book by its cover. And here the cover is total sales and services, which is nothing but just an alias of revenue from operations. So we start our investigation from the notes to this corresponding entry. Here we can see that the other operating revenue is quite a substantial one. It's almost 9% in 2019 and crawled up to 11% in 2020. Naturally, it should raise our eyebrows. So what is this comprised of? This includes sale of intellectual property rights of rupees 1055 lakhs, which was not there in previous year. Naturally, revenue generated from such item can never be a part of core activities related to manufacturing of pharmaceutical products. The cost or expenses sheet suggests that there was no corresponding cost relevant to sale of intellectual property rights. And adding insult to injury, if we remove this item, that is sale of intellectual property rights, from the profit for this year, the P&L account turns into red. Well, sometimes you will land up in a situation where all these breakups and notes are not spelled out correctly so that you can understand the profit and loss statement. In those cases, seek explanation from the company's auditor. Don't be shy, especially for the items whose presence or absence do make a difference. We have already told revenue from operations is classically divided into two parts: core operating revenue and other operating revenue. Suppose we finance a contractor whose main job is to erect electrical transmission lines end to end. In this process, they have developed a good rapport with companies dealing in electric poles, wires, etc. So often they will earn a small part of their revenue by trading all such items. This is their other operating revenue. A corrugated box manufacturing unit decided to stock paper reels, taking the advantage of lower price prevailing in the market and by the virtue of working capital facility which it availed from the bank. Now, due to price fluctuation, the price of paper reels went high. It had enough stock to operate for next 3 months. So, instead of utilizing the paper reels for manufacturing, it decided to trade a few of them. This is also an example of other operating revenue. Friends, I am not telling that other operating income is bad or illegal. In fact, those are very much part of the business. Only thing is that you must understand its implication on the business and take an informed decision. Revenue generated from core operating activities should be sufficient to meet the cost of various expenses and provide support for future expansion. The other operating income could very well act as a catalyst to increase the profit margin. Sometimes this is linked to core operating income and both are inseparable. But as an analyst, your responsibility is to unlock the same. But how? In order to do the correct classification, you must understand which product or items the company is dealing with. And how do you know that? Take a look at their plant and machinery and ask yourself what really they are capable of manufacturing. Go through the director's report, take a close look at the MOA and the AOA. Glance through the licenses that they have submitted, stock statements, nature of items appearing there, and the list of debtors will also give you an indication. Get a breakup of product-wise sales. Figure out if sale of such product or revenue from operations include any other sale which is not related to principal or core operating activities. Find how much revenue is from core operating activities and other than core operating activities. Make a real analysis based on the quantity of sales, say in quintals or tons in case of manufacturing. In case of service, it might be the number of customers served.